T. The old-school bell tower chimed, its sound muffled by a fresh blanket of snow. Winter had arrived at Blackwood Academy, painting the world in shades of white and silver. Inside, the grand halls were alive with the chatter of students, their breath misting in the chilly air. But for little Lily, a quiet first year with eyes the color of the winter sky, a small panic was beginning to set in. Her favorite mittens, a gift from her grandmother, were gone. She searched everywhere. Under her bed, inside her trunk, behind the dusty books in the library. Nothing. The mittens, knitted with soft cherry red wool, had simply vanished. As the day wore on and the temperature outside plummeted, Lily's small shoulders began to droop. The coldest night of the year was approaching. And the thought of facing it with bare hands made her shiver. Word of the lost mittens spread quickly through the dormitories. It was Thomas, a prefect known for his serious expression but kind heart, who first noticed Lily's quiet tears in the common room. He knelt beside her, his voice gentle. "What's wrong, Lily?" she exclaimed, her voice barely a whisper, holding back a sob. Thomas didn't just offer sympathy, he offered a plan. That evening, the common room, usually a place for quiet reading or homework, was transformed. Thomas had gathered everyone. In the center of the room, on a large oak table, sat baskets of colorful wool and dozens of knitting needles, borrowed from the stern boots' secretly soft-hearted matron. "Lily has lost her mittens," Thomas announced. "With the big freeze tonight, she'll need a new pair." "But why stop at one? I'm sure there are others who could use some extra warmth." A murmur of agreement went through the room. Some students, like Clara, who was a master knitter, immediately cast on stitches with expert speed. Others, like the mischievous twins, Leo and Lucas, fumbled awkwardly with the needles, their first attempts looking more like tangled nests than anything else. But they didn't give up. Clara patiently showed them how to loop the yarn, her fingers dancing over the wool. Soon, the rhythmic click-clack of needles filled the room, a comforting, collaborative sound. They shared stories as they worked. Old Man Fitzwilliam, the school's groundskeeper, told tales of winters so cold the ink froze, and the Inkwell's younger students spoke of their hopes for the holiday break. Laughter echoed off the high, vaulted ceilings, mingling with the soft music from a student's violin in the corner. Lily, her earlier sadness forgotten, sat beside Clara, carefully learning to knit a small, lopsided square of blue wool. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers. The grandfather clock struck 10. The table was covered, not with one, but with a dozen pairs of freshly knitted mittens. They were a rainbow of colors and patterns, some striped, some plain, some with comically large thumbs. Thomas picked up a vibrant yellow pair and handed them to Lily. Her face lit up with a smile so bright it seemed to warm the entire room. She'll slip them on, and they were a perfect fit. The other mittens were placed in a large basket by the main door, with a simple sign that read, "Take one if your hands are cold. Leave one if your heart is warm." Throughout that long, frigid night and the days that followed, the basket was never empty. A student would take a pair, and later, another student would quietly add a new scarf or a hat they had made. Lily never found her original red mittens, but she found something far more precious. She learned that the greatest warmth doesn't come from wool or fire, but from the kindness we share. In the heart of that cold winter, the students of Blackwood Academy discovered that by working together, they could knit more than just mittens. They could knit a community, stitch by stitch, creating a warmth that could chase away any chill.